That whole procession way was lined with trucks and lights, and people either worked for him or just wanted to pay homage to him.
Tonight on Newswatch, the big legacy of a past community member is honored in Casey.
Plus, some student loan borrowers could pay a little more in tax. We'll have the details on the change in federal policy. Ben?
Mostly cloudy skies for your Monday across east central Illinois. Despite that, though, temperatures back near the freezing point for the first time in over a week and a half. We're expecting those temperatures to continue to warm up, but just how high? I'll have that answer coming up. This is Newswatch, your Monday evening edition. It's coming up next.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection, commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon. Whatever the occasion, it's an environment for an evening of dining, conversation, and cocktails. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready. Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon, located at the Cross County Mall, Mattoon.
The city of Casey pays its respects to a man with a big legacy. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Andrew Spade.
And I'm Olivia Bennett. Vice President of Bolin Enterprises Jim Bolin's funeral was held at the Casey First Baptist Church this weekend, and I talked to a city leader who told me he will never be forgotten. A clang rings out in Casey, the clang of a wind chime, but not just any wind chime. This is the world's largest wind chime. And just down the street, as snow glitters to the ground, American flags and flashing lights pave the way for a line of cars. But this isn't any parade or celebration. This path leads to the Casey Cumberland Cemetery for the burial of Jim Bolin, the creator of what many call the heart of Casey, the big things in a small town.
I'm 68. I've been to a lot of funerals, unfortunately. I've never seen anything like that, showing the love and the care that the community had for an individual that meant so much.
Mike Nichols says there's a memory of Bolin that sticks out among the rest.
Jim pulls into my driveway and says, "We still don't have anybody to run. We'd like for you to run for mayor." I said, if you can get the 100 signatures I need to turn in by 8 o'clock Monday, I'll consider running. Thinking he didn't have a chance of getting them done. He reaches under the seat and pulls out the petition. He'd already had the signatures and had them waiting for me to sign.
Mike Nichols.
Today, that's Mayor Mike Nichols. He says Bolin helped bring hundreds of employees to Casey through Bolin Enterprises and thousands of tourists through a collection of larger-than-life landmarks.
For a long time, Jimmy and the Bolin family supported Casey. It's time for Casey to support Jimmy and the Bolin family.
Through the cars and wind and gathered citizens, a clang can be heard in the air. A clang from a big wind chime, reminding the city of an even bigger legacy. Nichols says Bolin outlined a plan for Bolin Enterprises to follow in the event that he passed away. Bolin is survived by his wife Diane, 2 children, and 3 grandchildren.
Authorities are investigating what led to the death of a man found unresponsive behind the Old Atwood Police Department. Police say it happened the morning of January 26th when a conductor on a passing train spotted an unresponsive 59-year-old near the tracks. That man was later identified as Richard Gabbard of Atwood. Police say Gabbard had suffered multiple traumatic injuries and severe hypothermia. He was taken to a local hospital where he later died from his injuries on Saturday. The Decatur City Council is set to approve the appointment of a new city manager. City officials say that person is currently interim city manager Melissa Hahn. Han has served as interim manager since last year and has worked in various local government roles for over 25 years. Last year, a spokesperson announced that former city manager Tim Gleason will be resigning for undisclosed reasons. The vote to appoint Han is set for tonight.
Good evening. Another snow-covered day across East Central Illinois. Mostly cloudy skies to pair with that. But despite that, temperatures finally on the rise across the area. We're up into the 30s for a few of us, 35 degrees in Effingham. Finally at the freezing point here in Charleston. Still some communities, including Champaign, didn't quite make it into the 30s, 29 for the high up to the north. Looking at conditions right now, still holding on to those rough daytime high temperatures. 32 degrees right now in the capital city, 26 degrees in Chicago. And looking a little closer to home right now, still staying at 32 degrees in Charleston at this hour under mostly cloudy skies. Those cloudy skies will continue overnight, back down into the 20s for our overnight low. Mostly cloudy skies will continue in throughout the morning, but warmer temperatures will continue, and I'll have the update on that coming up here in just a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Ben. Communities in Crawford County are set to upgrade their water system. Our partner station WTHI reports the Robinson-Palestine Water Commission has received $1 million to build a new water plant. They say that plant will be built at Gordon Junction and have a new filtration system. The commission says the new facility will have better reservoirs and be able to pump water at 1,700 gallons a minute. The commission's manager says the upgrade is long overdue.
Basically, everything's wore out in the old plant and it needs to be redone. The old plant is over probably 60, 65 years old, and so it's time to revamp it. We want to put filtration in.
The new facility is expected to break ground in May and be completed in 1.5 to 2 years. Some forms of student loan forgiveness are now taxable following a federal policy change. This comes after a provision of the American Rescue Plan, which temporarily excluded student loan debt from federal income taxes, expired at the end of the year. Capital News Illinois reports canceled or partially forgiven student loans in 2026 and beyond will now see taxes owed on those forgiven amounts. Researchers say those taxes could amount to as much as $10,000, depending on the borrower's income. The Illinois Department of Agriculture announces millions in grants to help farmers and consumers connect. The Local Food Infrastructure Grant Program will support local food processing, aggregation, and distribution to the tune of $3.6 million. The grants are geared towards small businesses, nonprofits, and local governments. All grant funding must be used for infrastructure costs associated with handling and storing agricultural products. State leaders say the grants will help address food deserts and make supply chains more durable.
The YMCA says it's offering any help or help getting healthy at any age. The Y is set to host the Healthy Aging Expo in Mattoon in Toledo this month. This free event will feature group fitness classes, expert speakers, prizes, and a free lunch. Officials say anyone who joins the Y during the event will get a 1-month membership for free. The Mattoon session will be held on the 11th and the Toledo event on the 18th. Both events are from 8 to 1, and more info can be found on the Y's website. HSHS Home Care is inviting the community to cram the car with items for Catholic Charities Food Pantry. HSHS is teaming up with 5 different car dealerships in Effingham to help collect non-perishable food items, hygiene products, or monetary donations. Those places accepting donations are listed on your screen. Donations for the annual event will be accepted the entire month of February. Then, on March 1st, HSHS Home Care staff will cram their cars with all donated items and deliver them to Regional Catholic Charities office. We're starting off another week with cold temperatures.
Ben Whitney is back with another chilly forecast. Good evening, Ben.
Good evening, Olivia. We are going to continue to see those chilly conditions, but still warming up. In fact, a lot of the Midwest and a lot of the Deep South starting to see that warm up today. We'll expect conditions to continue warming, but just how warm? Your full Skywatch forecast coming up right after this. Good evening to all our viewers on this fine Monday. We saw temperatures back up into the 30s for a lot of us. Our warmest point down to the south, 35 degrees in Effingham. Elsewhere, though, a lot of us right around the freezing point, 32 in Robinson, Charleston, and in Decatur. And for us in Charleston, this 32-degree high today has broken a pretty long streak of these below freezing conditions. Our last day that we saw that was at 32 degrees or the freezing point or higher was the 22nd of last month, where our daytime high was 44 degrees and today's high of 32 finally broke that 11-day stretch of seeing below freezing conditions. Now these stats are for Charleston. Some communities could differ a little bit from that, but we did break that 11-day below freezing streak today in Charleston. Area conditions right now, we're still at the freezing point in Charleston under these mostly cloudy skies. Those cloudy skies will stay with us as we get to the overnight hours. But again, a pretty nice warm up from today compared to yesterday at this time. A near 10-degree increase in temperatures in Charleston and in Effingham. Overnight tonight, we'll see these lows staying pretty warm, 27 degrees for our overnight low. That's due to these mostly cloudy skies. That's going to be limiting that amount of solar radiation that's going to get out into the atmosphere. It's going to act as a blanket in our skies, keeping us a little bit warmer overnight tonight. Calm winds will start to pick up a little bit from the north tomorrow. And as we get into our day tomorrow, those northern winds are going to cause a little bit of a cooler day tomorrow, 29 degrees for our high. So a little bit cooler than what we saw today. We'll start out the morning with mostly cloudy skies, but after the noon hour and into the evening, or into the afternoon rather, we'll see mostly clear skies across the area. But again, cloud cover starting to move back in with those winds picking up to 10 to 15 miles an hour throughout the daytime tomorrow. Futurecast right here, you can see those mostly cloudy skies continuing overnight tonight. Now, some models and our Futurecast here is suggesting that some of our more southern communities could see a few snowflakes tonight. If any of our communities end up seeing those snowflakes, it'll be to the far south of our region, including areas around Robinson, Newton, and Effingham. We're not expecting any real snowflakes to fall, but if they do, not really accumulating on that ground. We'll expect to see those clear conditions as we get to the afternoon tomorrow. But again, these clouds are going to move back in Tuesday night and leave us with a little bit cloudier of a sky as we make our way into Wednesday. And looking at our week ahead, we're going to see these temperatures starting to warm back up again. Wednesday, we'll see a little bit of a dip in those temperatures back down into the 20s, but Thursday back near the freezing point, and Friday could be nearly as warm as 40 degrees. In fact, that's roughly our average for this time of year, our 40 degrees in Charleston, and a little bit cooler as we enter the weekend. But looking past this week, we could expect to see above average temperatures back in the skies above East Central Illinois. Again, that means we could potentially see those highs getting back above 40 degrees as we enter next work week. And it's been a pretty, looking at the past month that we just saw of January, it was a pretty average month of January compared to our averages. Our average highs were only less than a half a degree off from the 30-year average, and snowfall was pretty on point too, just a couple of tenths of an inch lower than our average. But despite those, an average month, we saw nearly 45 minutes of sunlight gained over this past month of January. Those daylight totals are going to continue to increase as we get towards the summer solstice in June. And looking at our 7-day forecast here, you can see those temperatures starting to warm back up. 37 degrees for Friday. We'll be staying mostly around the freezing point for the next week or so across the area. We know Punxsutawneyville saw his shadow today and predicted 6 more weeks of winter across the area. I know we'll have to see those cooler conditions for a while, but it's a nice warm up from what we saw last week.
Are you serious? Are you serious? 6 more weeks?
We just got to get used to it, Olivia.
Yeah, it's Illinois for you.
Thanks, Ben. Coming up tonight in sports, both EIU men's and women's basketball teams have been struggling. Can they get back in the win column?
Also, one Charleston boys basketball player breaks a record that hasn't been touched in 35 years. Thanks for watching. Your WEIU Sports Watch report is coming up next.
Hi, I'm Everett Lau, an Eastern Illinois University graduate from the class of 2021. As an Edgar County farm kid, I grew up with a childhood dream of becoming a broadcast meteorologist. I spent a lot of time in the WEIU studio during my 4 years in college, and that's how I got to this studio, WTHI TV in Terre Haute, Indiana. WEIU prepared me for long nights of tracking thunderstorms, fine-tuning details of approaching winter storms, and how to be a broadcaster in general, whether it was weather, news, or even sports. I needed WEIU to achieve my dream, and now WEIU needs me and you to help carry out its mission of setting up students for success. Please consider making a financial gift to support WEIU so the station and its dedicated staff can continue operating this outstanding training ground for aspiring broadcasters, journalists, and scientists. Your gift can allow local students like me provide local programming for our local communities. Learn more at weiu.net or by calling the station. Thanks for watching.
Charleston boys basketball faces off the Apollo Conference rival Effingham, and there's more than a victory in the minds of the players, the fans, and the coaches. Sports Watch's Matthew Posner has more on a historic night at CHS.
On Friday night at Baker Gym, a new scoring king was crowned. That shot by senior Tyler Oakley vaulted him over Derek Landris as Charleston High School's new all-time leading scorer, and with it, a memory that will last Oakley a lifetime.
It's got to be number one. I mean, there's no other moment that'll be above it. It'll be something that I'll have to cherish forever in front of my friends, and just a big moment for me.
Oakley's talent was recognized right away. He started on the varsity team his freshman year and has started all 4 seasons of his high school career. Trojans head coach Colin McInerney says he's been honored to get a chance to work with Oakley and see him complete the chase for history.
In the 4 years, he's been at every single thing, whether it's mandatory, whether it's optional, whether it's him coming in here, on his own working. So again, I think people see a lot of shots in the game. They don't see the thousands of shots that he shoots every single day. When it's snowy outside, when it's the summer, when it's everything, he's always working. So it's just a accumulation of all the hard work he's put in.
Despite having just broken the all-time scoring record, Oakley says he hopes it doesn't last long.
I'm not one of the guys who's going to want this to be my record forever. I want some 8th grader to come in, start varsity his freshman year, and have a seasoned career like I did. I mean, I want this beaten because that's another kid who's successful in his life. And, I mean, records are made to be broken. I broke Derek, and someone's going to eventually beat my record. I mean, it's not going to be there forever, and I just want someone else to succeed.
Reporting in Charleston for WEIU Sports Watch, I'm Matthew Posner.
Landris held the all-time scoring record for nearly 35 years as he set pace in 1991. As for Charleston's contest with the Effingham Flaming Hearts, the Trojans couldn't pull off the second half comeback, losing 53-46. They'll hit the road tomorrow evening for a matchup with the Taylorville Tornadoes at 5:30. Let's take a look at some other high school scores from over the weekend. Mattoon completed the season sweep over Mount Zion, coming out on top 72-49. The Green Wave are now 13-11 with a 4-2 record in the Apollo Conference. Muhammad Seymour got the best of Taylorville, winning 69-60. Tuscola picked up their second win in a row after losing 4 straight before that, and this time they took down St. Joseph Ogden 54-44. And finally, Effingham St. Anthony took down Dietrich 61-36 on Friday and won over Altamont on Saturday 51-50. If you thought Illinois' road test against Purdue was huge, wait until you see who the Orange and Blue are up against this week. The Fighting Illini head to Lincoln to hopefully avoid a season sweep and the hand of the Huskers. Tipping things off at the start of the second half, Illinois is down only by 3 as true freshman star Keaton Wagler hits a step-back 3 from way out to even this ballgame up at 44. But Nebraska is number 5 in the nation for a reason as they fire right back with a point rocket that sends Pinnacle Bank Arena into a frenzy. The party doesn't last long, however, as Illinois' offense refuses to let up, setting up this slick finish by David Mirkovic under 2 Husker defenders. With only 5 left to go in the ballgame, who else but Keaton Wagler stepping up to show us he can do it in and out of the paint. The clean jump shot to wrap up a 78-69 victory for the new 5th-ranked Fighting Illini. Illinois gets a couple days of rest before they host in-state rivals Northwestern on Wednesday night. Tip-off is set for 8 p.m. Illinois wasn't the only team to play this weekend as the Lake Glen College men's basketball team looks to get its season back on track against Lincoln Trail. The Lakers start this one slow, even being down by double digits, but they would claw back, getting this 1 point thanks to this hook shot from Peyton Baird, and the Lakeland would stay there as Stevie Tatum pulls up from deep to tie the game. With less than 3 minutes left in the game, Dante Millis passes it to Loic Offerman, who lays up the layup and takes the Lakers' first lead of the game. And they wouldn't stop there as Offerman uses his power to get to the basket. The Lakers complete the comeback, winning 82-75.
Tell you that we're trying to learn how to handle adversity. And so adversity came and we didn't stop. We kept going hard. And that's what I want them to learn as we're coming up on the end of the season.
The Lakers are now 8-12 on the year and 4-4 in conference play. Lakeland will travel to Olney for this next matchup against Olney Central College on Wednesday at 7. Back at home, the EIU men's and women's basketball teams have been struggling. Can they turn it around against SEMO? The men's team started off flat-footed, and the Redhawks went on a 12-1 scoring run. Eastern cut it down to 37-24 at the half, but couldn't get it done, falling 77-59. Marcus Blackwell led the Panthers in scoring with 16 points. As for the women's team, they started the game with a 6-0 scoring run, but SEMO answered with a 16-0 scoring run. Ava Stoller led Eastern in scoring with 22, but the Panthers fell short 71-56. Up next for both men's and women's teams, they'll be on the road at Tennessee State on Thursday. Now to the pros, and capping off a basketball-filled night, the Chicago Bulls are facing the Miami Heat for the third game in a row. Starting off in the top of the first, Pelle Larsson takes the ball up top beyond the arc, and he greens it with ease. With Chicago down by 20 towards the end of the first, this is the only Bulls highlight tonight. Kobe White decides to take this one himself. The second quarter is winding down. Larsson pump fakes, but passes it back to Bam Adebayo, who tears down the two-hand slam. It just gets out of hand for the Bulls, and the Heat are too much to extinguish. Miami wins this one 134-91. Next up for Chicago, they'll stay on the road to play the Milwaukee Bucks tomorrow night at 7. Finally tonight, with just 18 holes left to play the Farmers Insurance Open, 45-year-old future Hall of Famer Justin Rhodes leads by a whopping 6 shots. Can he hold on to the difficult Torrey Pines South? South Korea's Siwoo Kim and former Texas standout Pearson Coody tried to make it a late move, but Rose's superb iron play and impressive putting ensures no one would come close. Rose finishes at a tournament record 23 under par to win the Farmers Insurance Open by 7 shots. With the victory, Rose now has 27 professional victories and moves back up to the 3rd in the official World Golf Rankings. Up next on the PGA Tour, world #1 Scottie Scheffler returns to play in a field of 123 that heads to TPC Scottsdale for the WM Phoenix Open. That'll do it tonight for sports. Olivia, back to you.
Thanks, Andrew. Still to come, we'll check in with Ben Whitney for a final look of this week's Skywatch forecast. But first, they weren't walking the gangplank. We'll show you the annual tradition that had pirates pounding the pavement. Thanks for watching. This is Newswatch on WEIU.
Bad Bunny, debí tirar más fotos.
An overwhelmed Bad Bunny warmed up for the Super Bowl by accepting 3 Grammys, including Album of the Year.
I'm gonna say, eyes out. We don't hate them. We love our people, we love our family, and that's the way to do it, with love.
Immigration was also on the minds of Song of the Year winners Billie Eilish and Phineas.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
And Best New Artist winner Olivia Dean.
I guess I want to say I'm up here as a granddaughter of an immigrant. I'm a product of bravery, and I think those people deserve to be celebrated.
Jelly Roll celebrated Jesus after winning a trio of trophies.
Jesus is for everybody. Jesus is not owned by one political party. Jesus is not owned by no music label. Jesus is Jesus, and anybody can have a relationship with him.
Talk about a trailblazer.
A lengthy in memoriam segment featured Reba McEntire's first ever Grammys performance. And all-star tributes to Ozzy Osbourne and to D'Angelo and Roberta Flack.
I feel like making love. Kendrick Lamar!
The night's biggest winner was Kendrick Lamar with 5 awards, including Record of the Year, giving him 27 lifetime, passing Jay-Z as the Grammy's most awarded rapper.
So I appreciate y'all. God is the glory. Love y'all.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Are you ready for our final story? We'll take a look at this. Over the weekend, Tampa hosted its annual Gasparilla Parade of the Pirates. The event drew legions of landlubbers and scores of sea dogs to share a good time. But this year, temperatures in the 50s meant these Buccaneers had to bundle up. Some old hands say they've been coming to the annual parade for half a century. Well, not exactly parade weather back at home. We're checking in with Ben Whitney to see if we can finally give these cold temps the heave-ho. Ben?
Well, Olivia, they wouldn't have had much luck sailing around the frozen lakes across east central Illinois. 27 degrees for our overnight low. We'll see mostly cloudy skies continuing as we look ahead towards tomorrow, staying right around near our overnight low tomorrow. 29 degrees for our daytime high for Tuesday. We'll see a little bit of a break in that mostly cloudy skies towards the afternoon tomorrow. As we look at our 7-day forecast, temperatures will be hovering right around the freezing point, 26 degrees for Wednesday, but then we'll finally start to see a warm-up continuing, 31 on Thursday and 37 degrees on Friday under mostly clear skies, 30 degrees for Saturday, 32 for Sunday, 34 degrees to start next work week on Monday. We'll see temperatures below average, but still a lot warmer than what we have seen this past week.
Yeah, I mean, it's been very chilly, but I mean, I'm glad that it's finally warming up at least a little bit.
I never thought I would be excited about a 37-degree day.
Me either. I would definitely take it.
Exactly. Thanks, Ben, and thank you for joining us tonight. For more news and weather, be sure to log on to our website at WEIU.net.
There you'll find real-time forecasts and the news video of the day. And if news is happening in your community, let us know by dropping us an email at news@WEIU.net.
Have a good night.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection. Commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon. Whatever the occasion, it's an environment for an evening of dining, conversation, and cocktails. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready. Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon, located at the Cross County Mall, Mattoon.